Hey guys, today I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I'm going to tell you how I got into working with clay and the reason I did, and I'm going to show you some of my earliest work, and I'm going to show you some things that I made recently that I haven't really shared with anyone. I just kind of make them for myself. So here's the background. I grew up in an extremely religious home where there were so many rules and everything was like really strict, and you absolutely could not wear jewelry, and you couldn't like have your hair down or like definitely not colored, and you couldn't express yourself so much through like bright clothes and all that. So when I grew up and I became an adult, like that's how I wanted to express myself because I'm an artist, and that's what I love is things that are like different from everyone else and that are colorful and over the top and all those things. So I was, it was probably like, maybe like even 10 years ago that I really got into like collecting statement jewelry. I would look at jewelry anywhere I went. I would always look no matter what store I was in. And I wasn't always looking for like the design of the actual jewelry, but sometimes like how I could take it apart and remake it into something that I would love to wear. So at the time when I first started, it was, okay, so I said 10 years. This was like 20 years ago. Life just flies by, you know. Anyway, so I was living in Chicago and I was a nanny and I was making a little bit of money. And so I would just like really hunt jewelry. That was my thing. And when I moved back to Ohio, and I didn't have as much money, and then I got married and I couldn't always work because of my health, and so we were a one-income family, and so I started to get more and more creative with like the statement jewelry that I would find. And there was like this thing that they did in the local churches where in the basement of the churches, all the women would like donate it was a lot of like costume jewelry, and every single piece that was donated was $2, and then it would all go to the church or like some kind of charity. So I would like go to these things and I would just like hunt the coolest, craziest jewelry that I could find. And I would be the person in there that would buy like $200 worth of $2 jewelry. And I would skip right over most of the bracelets and earrings and watches and all those things. And I was looking for statement necklaces. So then they stopped doing that. And I was so sad. I wish they still did it because I would go every single time. But I kind of started thinking, okay, now I got to make my own so that I can still wear what I want to wear, and that way I can design it myself. Well, I did not know about polymer clay. So when I started, I was basically like collecting things from like garage sales and thrift stores, like I said. Let's see if this will focus in. There we go. So I would just kind of put things together and wear them, and I would do a lot of layering. Like I have so many pictures of me wearing like 3 statement necklaces at the same time. But I really, really wanted to wear those fun colors and like the big beaded necklaces. And so I started doing some research, and at first I was like looking up beads and jewelry making supplies, and I just did not find what I wanted in the price range of like what I could afford. And so I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to have to try and figure out how to make this. But I didn't know how they were made. The internet was like not as easily accessible, and it wasn't like, maybe I was just bad at it. I don't know. But anyways, finally I discovered someone's necklace like on Etsy, and it was made out of polymer clay, and it sent me down like this big rabbit hole of I need to find out what this polymer clay is and if I can afford it and if I can use it. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I asked them, and I was like, there's this whole section of it. And so I bought a whole bunch. I didn't know anything about the different types of clay, like professional and whatever. So I bought any color that I liked. And with that, I made this necklace. It was my first ever necklace. And you know what? I'm still in love with it. I can think of how I would like make it better, whatever, but I still wear this necklace. I still love this necklace. It was my first ever polymer clay project. So that set me down such a rabbit hole. At that point, I started making all these different things. Let me show you a couple. So I made this, which was like a longer one that dangled. I made this guy. I made this guy. And here's one more. I made this, and this was like my first patterned one. So, but when I was making these, like I would like make a ball of purple, and then I would take a little piece of pink and I would add it to each bead. Like I didn't know about canes or anything like that until one day my friend Laurie came over, and she does my hair. And so we got to talking about polymer clay, and then she came over one day to do it with me, and I'm sitting there doing each one. And she was like, oh my word, Cheryl, I need to teach you about making canes. And she taught me my first cane. It was like 3 or 4 pieces just smushed together. And I was like so excited, and it just like sent me off on the biggest like art journey of my life that I'm so happy where I am now. But it was then that I started making those canes. And that wasn't until like 6 years ago, I think. Anyway, so I've been making jewelry ever since. But when I share my necklaces, they don't like necessarily always go over so great, which is fine. I mean, earrings are like way in, but necklaces really have my heart. And so I wanted to share with you some of the necklaces that I have made over the years. And then I also have a necklace that I want to show you how I made it. But I'm not going to do that today just because it will just make this a little bit too long. And I want to make sure that if you're looking for something like how to make a necklace, that you can just go right to that and you won't have a whole lot of talking at the beginning. So I'm going to share with you some of the necklaces I have made. So my most recent necklaces were these. These were made out of my mushroom canister collection. And I don't even think that I've shared that collection yet. I need to. I did a mushroom cane. There's like beads with flowers on them. So there's that. And then more like towards the beginning, I started making things like this. I've worn this for a video before. This one hangs, it can hang low or it can go short too. I love making squiggle necklaces. I definitely need to do a tutorial on those because they're super fun. And then the squiggle necklaces actually go over really well. Here's another one. This is my first squiggle necklace I made. And I love it. Last Christmas I did this, and then I did little Christmas lights on it. And so that was super fun, but they all sold. Okay, so then I have this rainbow one, which I have definitely worn before for a video. And then this one, I actually made these out of clay and then I painted some of them. And then it's just wood that I found. I actually took apart one of those necklaces that I bought at the church basement and I used the wood for that. More recently, like in the last couple years, I made this. I've made necklaces like out of building blocks that kids wear. Like anything I see, like the first thing I'm thinking is, what can I do with that? Like, can I turn it into a necklace or earrings? 4 more. This one, I love this one. It's one of my favorites all time. Like, You can layer this, you can just wear it plain, and it adds so much color. And that's how these are as well. I kind of made them all at the same time. And then this final one, which I made inspired by Ghana, where my husband is from in West Africa. Just the colors there are so amazing. But yeah, that is how I started in polymer clay, and I've come so far. I have learned so many new techniques. I have grown so much, but I still have such a love for statement necklaces, and I would love to share with you how I make some of them. Let me know if you're interested. Please like and subscribe. I just hope you're having a wonderful day and you're doing all the things that you love. Bye.